everybody, welcome back to Simple Art for Adults. My name's Erin and hey, I'm back. So yeah, it's been like a crazy few months and all kinds of stuff going on. I just haven't had the time to do anything. I really just haven't even been in the coloring mojo, so I haven't done anything in so long, but I think I've gotten back into it. And I've had a lot of people asking me to come back, do a video. So okay, well, let's do a video. I have a couple of different things that I want to do today. So let's just kind of like do a recap of the things that we're going to do. First and foremost, I had somebody ask me about, and I can't remember who it was, I am so sorry, asked me to show how I make a circle look like it's 3D, how to make something look like it's round. So I've got a couple of objects here. I figured we'll give that a shot and try to make that happen. And then Beth has sworn up and down to me that I will love Create Space paper from hitherto if I use Luminance pencils on it. So I have Nice Little Town 4, just the first random Create Space book that I picked up. And I have a 40 set of the Luminance pencils, so I'm going to try that. We're going to see how that works. And then, time permitting, I will work on my picture I've been doing in World of Flowers by Joanna Bassford. I'm absolutely in love with this book. It's awesome. I'm having so much fun doing this picture. This is going to be something more than this when I'm done with it. I'll show you what it is when it's finished. This is just kind of my reminder of what I'm doing. So without further ado, let's jump right in, see what we can do. Alright, so first things first, let's do this whole try to make an object look round thing. Okay, so as far as this goes, it's really not that bad. I'm trying to remember how to, there we go. Alright, put this in the middle. So what I do when I try to make something look round is I pick 3 colors to start. I pick 3 different colors, so we're going to go with, let's pick a yellow. Let's see, we'll go with yellow ochre, and we'll go with orange, and we'll go with, what is this, permanent red. These pencils are hard to read. And I know I'm getting up there in years, but goodness gracious. I'm starting to see why Caria, when she does hers, when she gets her Luminance, she puts her own little labels on there. I can totally understand it. And I do still use my Tagal sharpener, but here's something that I've noticed. This used to say Luminance only on it. If I use this sharpener on these pencils, something happens inside of it, and it like stretches out the inside of the sharpener, and then it won't work with other pencils anymore. So I usually just try to keep it set to 3. And I have this one labeled just for the Luminance, so I won't sharpen any other pencils in here except for the Luminance. So let's get a nice sharp tip, and I'll show you how I make something look round. Alright, so first things first, I take my light color and I go really light all over the whole thing. So let's assume that this is like an Easter egg. And we're going to color it a solid color. If our Easter egg is going to be orange, we want to pick our orange, which is going to be our main color, right? So this will be our main color, the orange. This is going to be our highlight color, the yellow, and then this will be our shadow color, which is like the red. So the highlight color goes everywhere. At least this is how I do it, and I know people do it differently. The highlight color goes everywhere, and once you've done that, you're going to pick a direction that your light's coming from. So for me, I'm going to assume that my light's coming from over here. Alright, so the light's shining down this way toward the egg, which means that up here in this little area right about here is going to be the highlight. So everything except for that area with a really light hand, and this is going to be really sloppy, guys, because I'm not going for beauty, I'm just going for, showing you how it's done, or how I do it. And then I'll color everything except for that little part in the main color. Alright, so the light source is coming this way and our highlight's here, then that means our darkest area is going to be down here on this side. So I will take my darkest color and put my shadow in that spot. Now the trick to making it look actually round is to make your strokes round, to put them in a round shape. So that's what I'm going to do. So here's where our shadow would be. we've got that. And now at this point, now that you have all your colors where they're supposed to be, now it's just layering one after the other until you get your orange egg that looks nice and smooth. And I've never used the Luminance on this particular paper. I haven't used these pencils that much, period. So I'm not really certain what kind of result I'm going to get trying to blend these out, but we're about to find out. If I have to, I'll get my blender pencil out, make it work. Alright, so then we have our orange. And now we come back in with our red. And yes, I'm probably going to make a mess of this, and I really, like I said, I'm not going for beauty. I haven't colored on camera in a long time, and it takes practice, so you guys are just going to have to bear with me a little. So you just put your shadow back in, and then you blend it back out with the main color, which is going to be, our egg is orange, so we're going to blend it back out with the orange. And you can go back behind just a little bit, and if you keep just a little bit of your color wrapped around like that, I think it helps it makes it look a little bit more realistic. And then again with the red. And then again with the orange. And you're just watching it happen right here. You're just watching it build up. Watching it start to look like an egg. Like it's an actual round egg. Now, what you can do is you have options here. Let me grab a blender. You can either, what is this blender? This is the Caran d'Ache blender. Okay. So what you can do is you can either take your lightest color, and in this case my lightest color isn't really all that light, and go back in. So if this were like a really pale yellow, this would probably work. You just go back in over your highlight area, or you can just leave it white. So what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to go back in with the orange and try to make that highlight just a little bit more prominent again. And all I'm doing, guys, is just basically, in this case, you can just leave that one original light layer. Because if you leave it pure white, it's going to be really stark. And in some cases, that might be what you want, to have that really stark contrast. But for me, I'd rather it be a little bit paler. And there's other things that you can do, too. I don't know why I drew all these circles. I'm pretty sure I can show you all of this on the one oval. Alright, so now that we have that, you can go back in with your blender pencil, kind of smooth it all out. Make it look like an actual egg. It won't be so grainy and gritty. And you can pull some of that color in, just like that. So now it actually looks like a round egg. Now, if you want to take it a couple steps further, let me find a white gel pen. I have a jelly roll here. I still haven't managed to buy any of the uni ones yet, the Uniball, Signo, or whatever they are. So there's a couple other things that you can do here. You can take an eraser. Let me make sure mine's good and clean. I have a mechanical eraser here. Mine's a Ohuhu battery operated eraser. This is a cool little tool. If I remember to, I'm going to put a link down in the description box for you if you're interested in getting one. When I bought mine, it was less than $8 and it came with a bunch of extra erasers. So it's, you know, a really, really economical buy. You just push the button and the eraser, oh, you can get it where you guys can see. You push the button and the eraser spins and you have to do less work, which is always cool. So if you wanted to make this look even more realistic, or like if you wanted the highlight to be even brighter, you just barely touch the paper. And there you go. Now you have another highlight. Or you could take your white gel pen. This one may not work on this paper over the Luminance. I've never tried to use it over this before. I know what I have that will work though. Hold on, guys. I know. I have plans. This should work. This is an American Crafts Galaxy marker, and this came from Hobby Lobby, I think. It's just paint like ink. It's permanent, opaque, acid-free. I don't know if it's alcohol-based or not. I can't tell you. But like I said, this is just like a paint marker. And you just put it over. Make sure you get all the pigment off of it though, or it'll stain it. And then if you wanted to, you could also put like a little bit back here on this side. And that helps it look round too. This, of course, isn't the best thing ever, but I think you get the picture. And that is how we got... I was going to show you my picture in the Jane My Day book, but I don't have it handy, so we'll skip that. But yeah, basically this is it. And you know, if you aren't in a hurry, you can really take your time with this. You can make your highlights look a whole lot nicer. But that's basically all there is to it. And of course, you know, if your light source is coming from the other direction, you just kind of rotate the highlight. You can have your light source coming up from the bottom, and then your dark area would be up on top. That's just all pretty much basic. And then once you get that to where you've figured all of that out, you can start applying that to other things that might be rounded. Like if you're coloring a mushroom, you can pick your light source and kind of look at where would the highlight be if the sun is up here hitting it right here. So, you know, my highlight would be here, so it would be darker back here. And it's just the same three, you know, when I teach you guys how to blend in the videos I did a long time ago, and you use your 3 pencils, your light, medium, and dark. Your medium's always going to be the main color of whatever the object is that you're coloring. Your light's always going to be the the highlight, and your dark's always going to be the shadow. And that's really all there is to that. So I hope that helped. I really do. And if it didn't, whenever I come back and I have a little bit more time to do videos, I don't know how long this one's going to be because things didn't work out for me to take my day off the way I wanted to. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to try to color in this book, Nice Little Town. I want to try these Luminance in this book. So we're going to try it right here on this page. This is like the title page. So I'm going to move it right up here, and I'm going to color one of these little mushrooms with the same colors. And this is on the Create Space paper. So these are the Luminance pencils. Alright, Beth, it's do or die. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. Apparently this is like the best thing since sliced bread. And I know that the Luminance are pricey pencils. I bought mine used. I bought a 40 set that was used. Otherwise I would not have been able to afford them myself. So I totally understand. I'm so used to coloring with 120, 150 set of pencils that 40 just feels like, it feels like I'm being tortured. So, alright, now if you look at Tanya's art, right, you can see that she's got like a dark place over here for us, which is going to indicate that this is the darkest part of the mushroom. So the light is going to be coming like, probably from this way. Although, I'm going to say it's more like this way, because we're outside. So I'm going to start with my orange color, and I'm going to put it everywhere except for this, like this little area up here on this mushroom. And we're going to put it all over on the bottom, everywhere except for that top edge. And even though she's given us some guidance here, guys, we don't have to always follow that. We can color it however we want. That's the wonderful thing about coloring books. Alright, so just this little top part here I've left yellow. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let me zoom it. See if I can zoom it a little more. I don't know if it'll let me. Give me a second. There we go. So just that little top part up here I've left yellow. And I'm still going with really light layers. So I'm going to take my red. We're going to put it back here. And I'm also going to put it down along the bottom. I'm going to kind of fade it out like right about there. So we're going to cover that little bit that she told us there is going to be darker with the darker color. And I'm going to pull it down to like right about there. Because remember, now we got to go back over it with the orange. So I'm coming back over it with the orange. We're just going to cover some of that red. I have people in the house with me. I have one behind me playing video games, 2 in their rooms. It's hard telling what might go on. You may hear sibling rivalry momentarily. It's okay. That's what adulting is like. It's what adulting is like. Alright, so let me go back. You know, honestly, I mean, these pencils are pretty good on this paper. I'm really not pushing hard, and by the time I'm getting to like my 4th, 5th layer here, the white space is pretty much gone, which is always the complaint with this paper with me. Is that no matter what you do, no matter which pencils you use, that you can't really cover that white space without really like working at it. And you have to push really, really hard to get the white space covered. So in this case, we're just going to leave it just like this. And in this one, I'm going to use my blender pencil. And I'm going to do the dark parts first, because this blender pulls the color around a lot. So I'm going to do the dark part first. Then I'm going to switch to a clean part of my blender and come up and do the lighter part. And blend it all out. That looks pretty stinking good. I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with these pencils on this paper. So let's do this little guy over here. Do this little mushroom. And I really do like these pencils. I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't like them. It's just that I like my Prismacolors about as much as I like these pencils. They just don't do as well on this paper. And the one thing about Prismacolors that I don't like is that they shed everywhere. They're goopy and they smear, and if they did not do that, like if the Prismacolors didn't do that, yeah, they'd be my favorite. They are my favorite pencil anyway. I don't know what I'm saying. Prismacolors are my favorite. But if they didn't smear like the way they'd be my favorite times like 100. It's just, they're so messy. And I have to put on my coloring glove, and I constantly have to have a like white eraser beside me to erase up any marks I make. I'll show you here in a minute when I get my Johanna Basford book back out and start working on that. So now this time what I've done is the light area is this whole side here. The dark area is way back here. I'm going to pull this out just a little this way. Otherwise it won't look. It'll look like I cheated a little. So now I'm going to take my orange. Alright, Beth, I'm going to hand it to you. This is pretty good. I think I could probably color in CreateSpace books now. I think I might. I do. I didn't even use the blender pencil that time, and look how smooth I got that. No blender pencil at all. It's pretty nifty. Alright, so let me see if I can... The Luminance doesn't erase real well, not like some of the other ones. So that's not going to work too well. So let's get... Oh, there's my galaxy marker. Sorry guys, I moved it way out of your view. I'm going to get my galaxy marker. And we're going to put some highlights like that. Ooh, I know you guys can't probably really see those, but I can in my light. They look pretty nice. I like them. I like it. It looks pretty good. Alright, that's it. I'm going to start coloring in CreateSpace again. I'm going to have to somehow indulge in the bigger set of Luminance, so I'm going to have to make that a thing. Like, I'm going to absolutely have to do it. I just got to save up the money for them, and then I'm going to buy them. Yep. And I'm going to make these stems brown. I'm actually going to come back and finish this, and I may leave this, like, I may just leave this title page for, like, something to color when I'm chatting on video. I don't know. That was cool, though. I'm very pleased with that. Alright, so let me put the Luminance pencils away, and I'm going to work on my World of Flowers picture a little bit. Because if I stop the video already, people are going to yell at me, and we can't have that. Alright, so where was I? Alright, so here's my picture. Let me see if I can zoom it out to show you guys what I'm talking about with the Prismacolors. I'm on my phone, so if it starts shaking. Alright. So here's what we've got. We've got like all of this. I've got 3 of these things colored. And if you look like right up here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. There's like all this smudgy stuff, right? All of that. And it's like everywhere. every time I color with Prismacolors. It gets everywhere. Alright, so this is the one I'm working on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in on it a little. Get it right in the middle. I'm going to make you guys nauseous before I even get anything done here. And I've been coloring this flower. I don't think I'm quite done with it yet. I need to add some more, like, I feel like I don't have enough contrast in it. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do. And the darkest color I've got in here is the peacock green, which I love. But I don't think it's dark enough. I think I might have to go find, as a matter of fact, I'm going to. I think I'm going to need to pull out a darker color to put in there. So let me get my Prismacolor case out, and you guys are going to see nothing but purple. Okay. So the dark green we know isn't going to work. Let's go with the 90% warm gray. Because the warm of that against the cool of the blue should make it not stand out too much. And we're going to find out. Sometimes I'm wrong. So I'm going to put some of this like right up against where these petals overlap, just like this. And I'm going to come back in with that peacock green and kind of smear it out. So I have a question, and you guys can answer me for all you Johanna Bastard fans out there like me. So I got this book, and I started coloring in it, and to me, it seems like this paper is way, way different than any of her other books that I have. Like the paper on her other books that I have, it seems kind of smooth almost, and this paper is not. It's almost like watercolor paper texture, but it's like it has the same grain as watercolor paper, but the tooth isn't quite as deep, if that makes any sense. It's just different. It's not like her other books, and I don't know if I'm crazy and it's just been forever since I've colored in her other books, or if it really is different, but it seems different. So maybe you guys can enlighten me. Is it different paper? Have you guys noticed the difference in the paper in this book? And like, you don't know, and this is the US version. So like this one and the US version of, say, I don't know, Magical Jungle, or see what I mean about the contrast? Just adding that little tiny bit of that really super dark color really made those individual petals like look like they're kind of rolling out toward you. That's just, it's just little simple things. And people, you know, say all the time, oh, I wish I knew how to, you know, do this or do that. And it's like, you know, a lot of the time when you're coloring something and you're not satisfied with it, like you look at it, you're like, that's not really what I wanted. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's because you're just not finished yet. And I was just having this conversation. A lot of times all you need in your picture to make it what you want it to be and what you see in your head is just a little bit, like a darker color than you think you need. And just a tiny little bit of it. Because you guys see what just happened here. How much that little bit of that color had a huge effect on the way that flower looks. It's crazy. It just made that whole thing pop. So I'm going to leave this flower like this. The center here, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I think I want to leave it light. So I'm going to take this light green. I'm going to put it like this. And I'm going to come back in. And I also have, for really light, I have gray-green light. So I'm putting that like right here. Like little slices of a pie. Like that. And this centerpiece, I think I want to leave like that. But I am going to get out my Pentel Milky Pot, because I've been using this. I've been using the crap out of this thing. I like this. And I keep a colored piece of paper handy so that I can like scribble and make sure I've got ink flowing before I put it to my page. Okay. And then I'm going to color these little dots white. I don't know if it's going to make it stand out because the green that I have on here is pretty light the way it is. So it may not make a whole lot of difference, but we'll see. So I hope everybody's been doing well in my absence. I call it a hiatus. I took a coloring hiatus for a while. Just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, nothing really bad. I don't want people to worry. Nothing horrible happened. It's just that I took on more responsibility with my job, so I'm, helping basically manage, I don't know, probably 10 different clients who have websites, who have blogs, who need, I come up with the titles and I write the blogs, and I'm getting to a point now where I'm going to start uploading them and getting their approval on them. So my responsibility has gone up, drastically. And that's okay with me. It's just that it leaves me not so much time for other things. And then between that, my son picked up, he's in a percussion group at school, so he's at practice all the time after school, and I have to pick him up. And my daughter, who is technically a junior in high school, doesn't go to high school anymore. She goes to college. So she's got that going on, and it's just, madness between all of us working, going to school, and, trying to keep the house going, trying to, make sure dinner's made and the house is clean and that kind of thing. It's just, things get tough. Things get really tough. But I got to a point where I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't do something for myself, I'm going to literally come unglued. I'm going to freak out. So I picked up a coloring book and decided, yep, this is what I need to be doing. I've got to make time for this. Whether I want to make time for it, whether I feel like it or I don't, I enjoy it. If I make myself pick the book up and color, I always enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do the videos because, life is just so hectic. I don't know how often I'll be able to do videos. I'm going to try to do them anyway. I'll try to, at least hang on here and color stuff and talk to you guys. Because it's nice to talk to you guys. It really is. It's really cool. And it's fun to read your comments even though I don't have the time to respond to them that I used to. It's still fun for me to read them. I love coming in the Facebook group, and for those of you who are curious, whenever I decided to take a hiatus, when I turned the Facebook group over to the ladies who were doing the moderating for Simple Art for Adults, the Facebook group. And so what they did was, because I wasn't sure if I was going to come back and do anything, and managing Facebook, they do all that anyway. So they have changed that group. Now it's the Coloring Connection. So it's the same group of people, it's the same moderators and the same admins. Everybody's still there. It's just a different name and a different concept slightly. Their goal is to kind of be like a central hub, like a place for everybody to come and kind of share what's going on in the coloring community with artists and YouTubers and colorists, and just have one central place where if you're looking for news, you can check there and go to all your other Facebook groups and share. It gets hard to keep up with all the different Facebook groups, I think, and they're also wonderful and they're also individual, and like you go into these Facebook groups and you share your work and you comment on other people's things, and it's like, even though it's a Facebook group and it's virtual, everyone has its own atmosphere. Every single one. It's like walking in to like someone's house when you go into every different Facebook group. So that's kind of the fun of it for me, is that there's always that different vibe going on for everybody's group. And I think the Coloring Connection vibe, it is what it always was. Everybody's so cheerful and happy and encouraging, and that's why I love it so much. And that's, part of the reason why I decided to turn it over, because I couldn't keep up with it. And they could. So I'm just so happy that they've done this and they've managed to keep it what it is today, and it's still a fun place to be. So if you guys have been looking for that and wondering what happened, the Simple Art for Adults Facebook group is now the Coloring Connection, and it is managed by a lovely, lovely, lovely group of girls, ladies, women. Some of the best people in the community that I know. So if you're looking for a place to go, that's what I would recommend, most definitely. That's where I go to share all my finished pages. So just go to Facebook and go to Coloring Connection and answer the questions, and they will let you right in. And it's pretty much the same rules, I think, as it always was. If you guys, you can share pretty much anything that you want, as long as it's not obscene, doesn't have like graphic nudity, doesn't have curse words, or isn't a freebie that you found with a Google search. It has to, you have to be able to vouch for it that you have that artist's permission to share it. Because there's been some issues in the community with artists' work being stolen and shared around the internet, and people downloading it and not realizing it, that, oh man, well, so-and-so didn't want their work to be up here on this Pinterest, but somebody stole it and put it here, and now I've downloaded it, colored it, and shared it. I mean, I can't tell you what to do in your own time. If you want to, you know, if you download stuff like that, that's on you. If that's what you want to do, I can't tell you not to. Just, you know, just remember that not all the pictures you see, just because you say, oh, that's Johanna's Bassford's work, that doesn't mean that Johanna put it there, and so that's okay. So just kind of be mindful of that. Alright, so now I'm at a point where I've got to pick some new colors. So I've got this theme happening here, so I've got the blue and orange on the one side, I've got purple and yellow here, and now I've got pink and teal. But I want to do all these other ones, like different color combos of teal. I could do like cloud blue, muted turquoise. There's just not a whole lot of teal. I could do the cobalt turquoise, muted turquoise, and cloud blue, I guess. That's what I'll do. Those will mix up pretty good, I think. And although I've already got cobalt turquoise in here, with the muted, it'll look different, which is what I'm after. I just want it to look a little, not the same. Light aqua. Sorry guys, I'm putting my pencils away. I know you're probably not enjoying staring at the pencil case here. Alright, so what did I say we're doing? We're doing muted turquoise, cloud blue, and cobalt turquoise, which is right here. Let's see how these work together. Alright. Because the cloud blue will give me some nice light color, which is kind of what I'm after. Alright. Zoom you guys in while I do this flower here, because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I have no idea. No clue. I'm going to put the light color down first. And I think with Prismacolor, with like toothier paper, when you're using Prismacolor, so here's like a not so pro tip. It helps to blend if you have like some wax down. Like, so I always try to put my light color down first, everywhere. And yes, it's going to kind of mute your darker colors a little bit, but when you go to blend it out, because that wax is already down on the paper and kind of like floating over the tooth a little bit, it makes the process and the act of blending a lot easier, I guess. You don't have to work so hard for it. It just blends out easier for you. So I think what I'm going to do is, God, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Because it's got like this lumpy thing here in the middle. Alright, I'm going to do this. We're going to put the muted turquoise about halfway down this top part. And guys, this is how I color so many things. I'm just like stare at it. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Somebody give me an idea. Oh, I like this color. This is nice. And I also want to get the jade pencil out. I was watching Latimia, Cali Girl NNC. She was coloring in, I think, Mythographic. And she got out the Jade Arteza colored pencil and colored the water. And I was like, oh, that color is so pretty. So maybe I'll have to get my Arteza pencils out now just for that color. I just watched her color that whole entire water, like, mesmerized because the color was so pretty. That's when you know you've had a long day, when you're mesmerized by the pretty colors. And now I'm going to put, like, just a tiny bit of this cobalt turquoise up at the very, very top. And this one I'm not going to try to make 3D so much because there's so much going on already. You know, it's like if the simpler flowers like these ones down here, it's got all kinds, it's got like 4 different colors in there just because they were pretty simple. This one's got a lot going on. It's got a lot of hills and valleys. It's got that big flowery looking thing in the middle. I'm not real sure how I'm going to color it yet, but we're just diving in and going for it. Just going for it. Hopefully something will come to mind. Now I'm going to go back with my cobalt muted turquoise and color over that cobalt and bring it down again. I think I'm going to repeat this process here and have it come down to lighter and lighter and lighter, and then I'll do a really dark dot in the middle. I think that's what we're going to try. So let's do this flower before I call this video quits. Y'all cross your fingers, say a prayer, whatever it is you do, that my flower comes out okay. I'm in a really good mood today, you guys. I know I probably sound completely crazy, but I'm just in a good mood today. I think it's a good thing. I'm trying to figure out how to move this thing because it's like sideways on my screen. This way, this way, this way. There we go. Yeah, that's better. It used to be like when I could see on my computer screen what I was doing, like it would turn it in landscape mode. But now it won't do that anymore, so I kind of have to guess. I'm trying to get used to it. Like, which way do I move this book to make it go whichever way on my screen? Alright, so now I'm going to come back in with the cloud blue and just really lightly. Actually, no, I don't think really lightly is going to work. I'm going to have to go kind of heavy. So blend these out. I like that. I think that looks nice. So I'm just going kind of heavy with the cloud blue. We're going to blend all this stuff together and pull it back down to the... There's an inner flower and an outer flower. So we're going to the inner flower, and I'm going to do this whole process again. That's the plan. We're going to see what that looks like. What's the worst that could happen, right, guys? Alright, so we're going to do it again. It'll either be the best flower ever or the worst flower ever. I don't know. I think when I color Joanna Bassford's flowers, I don't think there's not a wrong way to color them. You can't make them look bad. They're just so pretty. There's little denying that she is one of my favorites. Joanna Bassford, Maria Trolla, Hannah Carlzon, and Emily Oberg. I think if that's all I had to color for the rest of my life, I'd probably be okay. I'd be a little sad. I'd miss everybody else to pieces. But if I just had those books, I'd probably survive it. I have a lot of coloring books by a lot of different people, and I love every single one of them. Still going. So for those of you who are paying attention, I've got cloud blue, muted turquoise, and cobalt turquoise. And that's what we're just kind of layering them, blending them out as we go. And I could use my white gel pen and put some like little glittery dots on the darker parts again. Like just in the middle though, I think, maybe. I don't know. And then I'll take my cloud blue again, and we'll go over everything, nice and heavy, blend it out. I think that looks pretty cool. I like it. And I'm going to take this turquoise and we're going to go right in the center. And I'm going to get my galaxy, or not my galaxy marker, but my Milky Pop. I'm going to get it flowing again because it gets the wax from the Prismacolors clogs it up. So let's do this and see what happens. Sometimes just adding the little white dots makes all the difference. I'm going to put less dots on the one on the inside though. And then one right in the center. That's not bad. I like it. It kind of goes with the flow of the rest of the flower. Let me zoom you guys out so you can see it. That way you can see how it works with the rest of the flower. Oh, wrong way. We gotta go this way. I like that. So if I do this flower and this flower in this color, right? And I'm gonna keep the muted turquoise because I've got the cobalt. I've got the cobalt in the other flowers. So I'm gonna keep the muted turquoise, drop the cobalt, and probably go like back to the peacock, maybe. Like if I go back to the peacock with the peacock blue, I think that's what I'll do. And these two flowers will be like darker blues. They'll be like less teal and darker blue, but I think it'll look nice. I like that. Alright guys, as much as I hate to, I've been talking for 40 minutes now, and unfortunately I have to go get busy doing some other things because it's almost 9 o'clock here and I haven't even taken a shower yet, so I need to get that going. My goal is to give you guys at least one video a week, even if it is only 40-45 minutes long, even if it's only 15 minutes, just to try to, you know, get on here and do something, say hi, give you guys a tidbit of some advice, show you a new coloring book or something that I've just gotten that I'm in love with. Just something, anything, because it's really not that difficult. It's when I'm trying to plan a color along and a teaching series and everything all at once, on top of work, on top of family, on top of practice, on top of, you know, my kids' college. Things get really crazy really fast. So I'm not going to make any promises as far as I'll do this twice a week. I can't do that. I'm going to try once a week, and if I can do it more than that, I will. If I can come on here more than once a week, if I find the time, if I have something to talk about, I'll definitely do that, but I can't make any promises. So until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, like I said, I'm going to try to be here at least once a week, so if you want to see what's coming next, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you ring the little bell next to it, because otherwise you may never know when I put a video out, because I'm telling you what, YouTube is horrible about that. Like the video if you like the video, share it if you think you want to share it. All those things really help the channel grow, and the more the channel grows, the more that helps me, really. And the more that helps me, the more time I can take doing this. There's still going to be a limit. I mean, even if I was a millionaire, there'd still be a limit to how much time I can spend on YouTube, but you know what I mean. So, alright, I'm going to leave you with that, and I will be back in about a week, or next week, or sometime soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye, and happy coloring.